there was this scene where Temi met a police officer, like this solid babe, this brilliant lawyer who understands what is right and wrong. She folded her hands, she was shivering in her car, and she just sat down there. The policeman insulted her, called her a prostitute just because she was wearing a tube top. And I was expecting, Madam, can you open your mouth and speak? Can you talk? Can you defend yourself? She didn't say anything, no. Then, of course, the man, he came to her rescue. Then she moved over to the passenger seat. Ayo took the wheels of her car and drove away like her knight in shining armor. Stinking. Nollywood is back again with another sequel that makes no sense. So I decided to come here today to tell you all about it. March 2015, a series titled Before 30 was released, and it followed four friends played by Damilola, Adegbite, Beverly, Naya, Meg Otanwa, and Anee Iche. In that series, we saw them scrambling and doing all they could to get married before their 30th birthdays, because according to them, a woman kind of expires after 30. 10 years later, the sequel, After 30, is here to show us what has been going on with these ladies and how they're navigating life and relationships now that they are 30 plus. Let me start by saying it was an annoying watch. Another sequel that nobody asked for. Some movies will bore you, some will disappoint you, but this one, it will piss you off. Welcome to Nigerian movie reviews, and in this video I am going to be talking about the film After 30. I will talk about the things that I liked and also share the things that I did not like. At the end, I will rate this film on a scale of 1 to 10. What did I like? Number 1, gorgeous people everywhere. See, this was a real life example of the phrase aging like fine wine. Because right before our eyes, like these ladies that we saw in 2015, they were beautiful then, but now, oh my god, they're prettier, they're finer, they're sexier, right? It was just really good to see them. And the guys, of course, there was Osil KJ, and yeah, we saw a new guy, Samuel Asa. He played the role of Kunle, very gorgeous man, right? So that was definitely a plus. I liked their outfits, I liked the set pieces, the lighting was gorgeous. They gave us some really nice shots as well. Another thing is, I thought the acting was good from the ladies and the guys as well. Even though Iche and Nkem, they were annoying me at some points, but there was one scene where they fought. Oh my god, it was a solid performance from the both of them. You should have seen Aisha's eyes. She looked wicked. What I loved the most about this film was the montage. There was a montage at the beginning that showed us how Temi, that's Damilola Adegbite, and her new love interest Kunle, played by Samuel Asa. So that montage showed us how their love happened. There was this old law firm stuff going on. See, that law firm stuff, it could have been a full movie on its own, and I would not be offended because it was simple, it was sweet, it was really cute. So I really liked that. I also appreciated how they included the late Karibi Fubara in this film and closed out his storyline. For those who don't know, he was in the 2015 series, but at the moment he's late. He died a while back, and I wondered how they were going to handle it, and I must say that I was impressed. They handled it with such respect and grace. So what were the issues? Let me start by telling you that I specifically went back to watch the 2015 series again before watching this new one, so I could remember where they stopped and understand the big picture. After I saw that, I honestly was not expecting fireworks or anything deep from this sequel because, again, the storyline was not deep. It was just like a normal story, right? So I wasn't expecting so much, but I just expected it to be decent at least. Unfortunately, the story they decided to tell and the way they chose to tell it, it was ridiculous. And I feel like the main issue anyone will notice while watching this film is the fact that the ladies did not evolve, they did not grow. These characters seemed to become worse than they were a decade ago. Like, it made no sense. Before 30, the series capitalized on their fear of turning 30 unmarried. So they did all sorts of things, right? Again, they were young. Now I was looking forward to watching them find themselves, become wiser, happier, chase big dreams and personal fulfillment, right? I was looking forward to this movie challenging that belief that a woman's worth is tied to her relationship status. And yeah, I was also hoping that maybe they'll find love that is healthy and fulfilling on their own terms. Instead, we got like noise and unnecessary drama. I know what people will say. People will say that these things happen in real life. There's so many 30 plus women that do not really have sense. Well, crazy things happen every day, but do they make compelling and entertaining movies? No! That's the main question. This is a movie. It is supposed to be compelling. It is supposed to be interesting. It is supposed to be entertaining. It is supposed to have a point. But it just seemed like they came back 10 years later to make us dislike these characters that we liked 10 years ago. That makes no sense. Another issue I had with this film was that there were so many scenes that just did not make any sense. There were so many scenes that I thoroughly disliked. For instance, there was that scene where Tammy was in the car after stalking Ayo, then she was bending and hiding. In my mind, I was just thinking, they are following this girl. Like, she does not even know. They are following her. Then there was the old Aisha traveling abroad to transfer accounts to Nkem, then tying her womb. See, the whole thing was not really my cup of tea, right? But it's okay. But the most baffling thing was the fact that she told Nkem about tying her tubes. She went through all the stress alone, handled the pre-post surgery care by herself. So what was the point of telling Nkem? Like, Nkem did not even need to know. I'm convinced that they just did that so that there will be a reason for Nkem and Aisha to fight. So even though it made no sense, they did it anyway. There was also that fight between Nkem and Aisha that happened at the restaurant lunch. It was overblown. It just came from nowhere. It was exaggerated. It made no sense. Right? Also, was it me or this film was trying to frame what was going on between Temi and Ayo as some kind of soulmate situation, like meeting the right person at the wrong time? Because it did not work in my opinion. The whole thing was giving toxic. I hated it so much. And as for that Ayo, no difference between him and his spirit husband. It was just moving anyhow. Another thing I did not like about this film was the way it portrayed the women. Even though it was a female-centered film, at no point did I feel like these women stood tall. At no point did they speak up for themselves. At no point did they do impressive things. I didn't like their dialogues. In fact, I could not even count the number of times they repeated fight or flight after doing something very foolish. I was stressed. There was Aisha's mother. Aisha's mother said the most important tool a Nigerian woman should have is to know how to beg. See, it was ridiculous. Because when she was saying it, it sounded like she wanted to say something very profound. So I was waiting. Then she said that. I'm like, mommy? What is this? What does this even mean? So this movie disguises itself as empowering or relatable content for women, but it does absolutely no favors to the women it claims to represent. After 30 was committed to representing women as insecure, confused, emotionally unstable, and unserious. Like, there was this scene where Temi met a police officer, like this solid babe, this brilliant lawyer who understands what is right and wrong. She folded her hands, she was shivering in her car, and she just sat down there. The policeman insulted her, called her a prostitute, just because she was wearing a tube top. And I was expecting, madam, can you open your mouth and speak? Can you talk? Can you defend yourself? She didn't say anything, no. Then, of course, the man, he came to her rescue. Then she moved over to the passenger seat. Ayo took the wheels of her car and drove away like her knight in shining armor. Stinking. I don't have words to describe what that scene was, but it was just symbolic of the way women were portrayed in this movie. Stinking. I did not like the friendships between the ladies this time around. I didn't think that they had that easy camaraderie that we saw in the first series, right? 10 years ago, they were having inane conversations about relationship problems, men, and all those things. 10 years later, still the same conversations, no normal discussions, no shared interests, no fun memories, no jokes, not even gossip. I'm like, what kind of friendship is this? I noticed that the film tried to highlight postpartum depression, but I do not think that it did justice to the theme. It just mentioned it and did nothing, shared nothing new or insightful about it, right? So I didn't like that as well. What was the end? That conclusion was a mess. Like, I'm assuming they left it open-ended because they plan to make part 3. Seeing how they ruined part 2, you would think they would not dare, right? But this is Nollywood, so they would dare, right? So let me just tell them, Kunle has no business taking Temi back. That man deserves better. Iche has tried to ruin a marriage like 2 times already because she just would not communicate. So maybe she does not want to be married because she still does not think she did anything wrong. She's only apologizing because she got caught. And there's Nkem. If Nkem actually went to meet Sheriff, Aisha's husband, oh my god, that just confirms that their friendship group, no self-worth. And there was Amma. I don't even know what to say about her. No words, none at all. But I believe they should just throw that friendship group away. As I round up this review, there's one question that kept on coming to my mind. What exactly was the point of this film? What was the rationale behind reviving a story that people liked 10 years ago to then make the characters unlikable, messy, spineless women who were sabotaging their own happiness and making terrible decisions? It made no sense to me. And I was like, who exactly was the intended audience for this film? Who is supposed to appreciate this? If I'm to rate this film, I'll rate it 1.5/10. That's because, yeah, the cinematography was good, acting was good, setting was good, other stuff was good, but the storytelling was nonsense. The storyline itself, it was nonsense. I feel like everybody that was responsible for this project, they owe us an apology. Overall, After 30 is like a dumbed down, headache-inducing sequel that should not have left their drafts. Terrible script, poor directing, and despite its attractive leads, it's a very painful watch. It was poorly thought out, and it is more likely to annoy you than entertain you. So, there you have it, my review of the film After 30. Have you seen it? I'd like to know your thoughts. Or let me know what you think of my review. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please share in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.